Hey, welcome back to another episode of The Journey to Become a TechnoWizard. Doing this inside for like what, the first time? So, ooh, it's been a day. Got a little bit done, but man, it's been hard, bro. I miss my girl so much. Uh, it's hard to get that energy and that stuff like that. But anyways, I got stuff done today. Nonetheless, I'm gonna show that off, and then I'm gonna work on the affinity diagram that we supposed to have done for a long time, but my whole group been slammed. Um, so yeah, here we go. Mm, 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 mm. Bam, boom. So remember that storyboard we went over yesterday? This is it. It looked nice, don't it? So started, just I was gonna draw, and they said, drawing, you don't have to draw anything real good, but nah. So I was just like Googling, trying to find some good, easy comic book creators or storyboards. So I found this one. It's pretty nice, pretty decent, and created this for it. So I won't go over it again. We went over the whole scene last time, and just watch that video if you want to see it, if you want to know what's going on here. But I'm glad. I think it turned out really, really well. So yeah, and this is our affinity diagram stuff. All right, so affinity diagram, I talked about this a little bit before, but essentially we take all of the data that we learned from our interviews, put them in little stickies, and then put those stickies on these boards. Each one has to do with a separate kind of category, separate problem or prompt, theme, something like that. And then we put the stickies together, uh, kind of group them to groups that seem similar, that seem related. So once we have that, then you can name these groups, and then you can prioritize your top three from each top 3 or 5 from each category, from each board. So my one of the group members that was in charge of this, he got a chance to get started on it. So I'm gonna go back over it and see if I have anything to add or change or anything like that. All right. So let's see. This first one says, "What do LGBTQIA plus organizers and businesses need? What are their needs?" All right. So let's see. So this seems like it's gonna be something like connections, maybe. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. Ooh. But yeah, it looks like this is connections or maybe media. Some need some way to connect. This is it's a little bit. It's always a little bit tricky to kind of go after somebody else and see how they were thinking to group these things. Um, but that's also what makes the affinity diagrams really effective, is that when multiple people look at these diagrams and organize and reorganize things and stuff like that, you quickly get down to kind of the key themes that are the universal themes that everybody agrees are related to each other. And so that's the good thing about it. It really helps you find those genuine connections, not just things that make sense in your own head. So yeah. So spaces, yeah, that's a big thing. Mission, you want to keep it free. Healthcare, health related problems. Mhm. Has led initiatives to make workplace more inclusive, Host LGBTQ employee group consortium meetings. Would base a future job search on company support of LGBTQI community. So what do they need? They need I'm not sure what he's trying to say here. They need maybe equity groups or something like that. They need inclusivity, diversity. Could be. All right, they need support. Yeah, financial support. So they need it's like to organize events. Well, this seems kind of different to me. Like this seems they need people for those events, and this says they need organization, like project management type of thing. I think this is related. Teams and people execute events, but this itself is kind of, even though they're both related to events, I think it's good to separate them. This is a different problem. Like they need people, volunteers or whatever else, while this is saying they need organization efforts or something like that. Administration, maybe. Social media. A way to, they need groups. They need to create groups. So they need awareness of a recognition, awareness of their support, recognizing that support. Ooh, this does not. Scientists might need some help there. Oop, they kind of spelled LGBTQR. Mhm. Oh, youth. They need to help youth, or they want to help youth, or something like that. Yeah. So this is related to the other one. Like they need space. Maybe this can be similar things other than money. Actually, I put this one right here because they're saying that they want to give things other than money. And I know this can be related, but we have specific one for spaces. That's like a whole different problem. I mean, if anything, I could put them next to each other since they're related. So move these up here. This one's a little bit less colorful than before because before we put like a different color for each person we interviewed. So it did make them a lot, make this a lot more colorful. But this one's a little bit more organized. Um, we have the purple for community, I think, for organizers, and then the blue for business allies, business representatives, and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more organized in that way. You can see whose perspective you're looking at. Nope. I wonder if you could put this in with the groups. This seems more like they need networking, something like that. So they need more time or resources to participate, volunteer. So they need kind of put resources to come to them. I might just start putting the names on here now. Usually we don't put the names on until like after we put most of these on here, but it's kind of hard to see what everybody had in see what they had in mind, you know. But I don't know. Let's see if I have to change anything else. Hmm. So these they all kind of mention funding, but I don't know. And you got to look at this from this perspective of what they need. Like that's why it's important to have this at the top, you know. So I'm keep saying like what they need, what they need. Um, so I understand that this is related to funding, but I think this may be a little bit better separated by, you know, what the need is, what this is trying to, what pain point this is trying to, you know, point to. So this is telling me, you know, want to get grants for fundraising. So they want, you know, other ways of gaining money, or they need money. So this is a little bit different for me. This is saying, you know, they need more diversity in the fundraising area, or something like that. Personal connections motivate business donations. Hmm. That could be related to connect. They need connections. They need networking opportunities. Um, it could be related to this one in regards to like they need a more diverse thing. Like if they're the only ways to get funding is from the people that they know, then that means they need to, you know, increase the people that they know, like, or get a better, I don't know where to put this one for now. Uses raffles from local businesses to raise funds. So these three seem related to me, like, oops, like these are all related to, they need support from local small businesses. Yeah. And maybe this one could either be related to, again, they need support from local small businesses, or they need to acknowledge those support systems. So I'll leave that here just for now. Ooh, I am yawning. Sorry. Now I'm in my bedtime. I usually go to sleep mad late. Well, that's probably my problem. I went to sleep super late last night, like 3 o'clock at night, trying to finish stuff. And I still woke up earlier. I woke up at like 8. That's what, 5 hours of sleep. Um, so yeah, I did take a nap today, like about 30 minutes nap. So, but that's not enough. Gotta get 48 hours, man. But tomorrow, most of my assignment, pretty much everything is done today. Tomorrow is just finalizing everything and practicing, so I could sleep in a little bit tomorrow, get that rest back. Um, here we go. Wait. Oh yeah, I did read this one. Okay. Let's get able to get grants. Oh, I already read that too. So this might be saying they need more altruism, more access to people who just like genuinely care, I guess, something like that. Um, oh, this one reminds me of that interview I did where the person was talking about that they work for, or they had to fight against violence, threats of violence. So they need like safety precautions, like you know. So wherever that piece of data is, I'm not sure if it's on the board yet. Yeah, I still don't know. I feel like these might be somewhat related, but maybe even these two. Kind of like they need like funding that's detached from expectations from from like no strings attached, you know, funding. Yeah, this is more demographics. So again, the tricky thing about these boards is that from what I've seen, you don't really want to put things together unless it makes sense for the category, for the specific board you're talking about. This board is speaking to business needs, community organizer needs. So even though these are related, like, these are all things that they're doing, like, their activities. And on the board of demographics, on the board of who are our customers, this would make sense. But I think, in my opinion, this should be separated because we need, again, to speak to what their pain points are. So on the board of the LGBTQ community chorus, that's going to be a different thing than board member of GLSN, which supports the youth. So this is related to the youth one, in terms of they need help. They need to help kids. Yeah, they need to help kids there. At Texas State University. I'm not sure what this has to do with anything. Like, you probably take this off the board. It's not really saying they need. Maybe you can take this one off too. Transgender Education Network. So this, they need to, educate. Oh, wow. They need to educate about, transgender problems and issues. That Did I read something about that here? No, I don't. So I know there's something else about in these interviews about transgender. Uh, so we can leave that for there. But this can be related to, violence. I'm not sure. Might take these off. I guess I might put these together, kind of no strings attached funding. Yeah, this is related to the kids thing, like, so that's about the pride parade and more about, what their need is. Like here they're talking about relating to kids, maybe even acknowledgement of the company. These are talking about that they want to see more meaningful events, not just parties. Remember that a lot of our, pretty much every one of our interviewees talked about that. So that's pretty important need there. Yeah. All right. So boom, bam. I mean, I could go and try to put some stuff onto the board, but that's the job of my teammate. And let them do that. And I'm gonna just go through these other ones. How is the current processing? How is current process frustrating? Okay, yeah. So basically, how is the process of funding of starting initiatives frustrating? What's the pain points with starting, organizing, and connecting with LGBTQIA plus initiatives? Yeah, this is a big thing. Is that a lot of businesses, even if they have an equity team, affinity group, diversity team, whatever you want to call it, employee resource groups, they very often, more times than not, do not really support certain. They don't really support the niche causes. So they may like say, "Oh, we're supportive of LGBTQIA plus people," but they might not, give funding to the local anti-corporate parade, or the reading group, or people living with HIV, stuff like that. So um and a lot of the reason for that is not because they're cold, callous people or anything like that. It's because everybody's looking for things in their self-interest. The LGBTQIA plus community is looking for things in their self-interest, which is living a better quality of life, which is definitely very important. But from the business perspective, they're seeing it as a we they can't be too spread out. Like if you try to be everything for everybody, you'll be nothing for no one. So I understand that that's why a lot of the times they focus on their specific cause, like their specific mission. So if their mission is to like increase innovation or food justice, then oftentimes they're say, hey, our mission is this. I don't see how that relates to this mission. They essentially don't want to be too spread out, which is understandable, but it's very frustrating for people who are working at these places who feel like they're not really being addressed. Um, which is a valid, pain point indeed. So yeah, yeah. Another one I was talking about the anti-corporate or just too small, hello nonprofit. Yeah, that's a big need. Is that the community itself is kind of scattered, is not as centralized as they need. So it's very frustrating for them to come together sometimes. So what's frustrating here, it seems like the lack of support. Well, kind of seems a little bit. I would probably separate this too because this is different. Like this is they feel like they need more support. This is saying they're frustrated that they don't have time. Those are two different things. So this could go either way that they don't have frustrated that they don't have enough support in the process or not enough time to support the what they want to do. And this is not really. I guess this is related to support though. Like it may be core friendly, but it's not super great. There's like a lot of problems that go on. Like people are still can still be not unaccepting and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I would separate that into never get enough support. Maybe these two can stay the same, but this would be separate. Like time is a whole other thing. Yeah, they need space. So a lot of the places, maybe they don't want money or don't need money. Maybe they just need meeting areas. Like they need to go to a physical place to so they can talk to one another and stuff like that. Seems like that's a big thing. So, I mean, I did this interview right here, so I don't know if these are related because she was speaking to different things with these. Like this one is talking about how how she personally want to get food access. She wanted to make sure that the people who are struggling to like get food and all that in the community, that their needs are met. But this one, this is the same interview, but and during this part, she was more so talking about how um, they're more internal. Like the things they've done for the community is really more internal stuff rather than external. So she herself has pretty much spearheaded the inclusive nature at their workplace. So she created like just a more inclusive culture there. And so this is kind of speaking to do different things. So I would probably separate that as well. I understand what this is going for. Like they're frustrated that these events aren't really meaningful or stuff like that. But it seems a little bit separated as well. Like once again, um, the frustration here is that it's not family friendly. And these two can be related, but this one is more so it's frustrating that there's a specific group that's underrepresented, that's not really given their that's not really being addressed. So there are, plenty of youth places. So it's not like they were under addressed. But the problem here is that they want to create more, you know, they want to create it. Like I remember this interview too, is that they wanted to create a pride festival basically that was family friendly, not just overall with parties and alcohol. So that's the problem there, the frustration there. Ugh, I need some more water. My throat dry now. All this talking. So frustration is that yeah, people are not great sometimes. Oh, that's interesting. Means corporate pride sponsorship is plastic. Wow. So this is definitely not the same here. These are saying that, the frustration is that um it's plastic, it's commoditized. You know, it's not as meaningful and stuff like that as it is. But this is saying that was not really even a frustration. This was more so saying that they anti sponsorship. Like this is from the anti corporate people. So they don't even want sponsorships. They really only want or maybe yeah, they want funding, but not with strings attached, essentially. So the frustration here is the kind of the strings attached thing is needing sponsorships from companies and whatnot. Um, so yeah, that's definitely separate. In fact, I might put that with. Do they have a? Yeah, I could probably copy over that one over there. And no string attached area, but leave that for now. Yeah, underlying health conditions. I remember these interviews as well. Again, they were talking about different things, but actually, I'm gonna leave it together in this one because it's still the same problems that they want more. Kind of, they need. It's frustrating that they don't have as much recognition or like showing that much impact. But what's interesting is that for this one, they were talking about how they they gave donations, and in return they received, a handwritten letter from the organization, from the nonprofit, but the person, like they work at a small company, and their manager, or whatever, the boss enjoys handwritten letters, so it wasn't a bad thing here, but the person I interviewed, knew that they probably should do more to have better recognition. So yeah, that's that. All right, and the last one. How do LGBTQIA plus organizers and businesses connect? How do they connect? Yeah, Facebook, social media. Ooh, excuse me. I actually think this is different. Like this is more so PR, like the general public. Like this is the job search, like career oriented. Like they get connected. Wait, what? Organizers and businesses connect. Hmm. They might even have to take this off because how do they connect? This would make sense. Like they're connecting through just PR. Like they do some a good PR type of thing. You release to the public, hey, we did this thing, and somebody hears it and it's like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. It's like connect with them. This is different. Oh yeah, this could stay on there, but it's different because here it's like you work for like maybe the organizer has already done, this, that, the other, and then they need a job, so they go work for a place and they realize, hey, this place is actually really inclusive or whatever. So that's how they get connected. So I would say that's different. Now this is oops, duplicate. And it's better over there too. So I understand what they're going for here. Kind of like the small business thing, like businesses that they go to, that's how they connect. But I would leave off this other stuff about, goes to own businesses exclusively, especially this thing. So here they're saying that they more so see, that hey, this business has like a badge, has a sign, has something out there that's showing that the LGBTQAIA plus affirming or allies or owned. So this is like visible. This is more so they're not really connection with that business if they see they're anti. So I would probably take this out or just make it separate. Actually, I would just take it out because it's not really related to this board at all. Oh, I don't want to delete it because just in case somebody else can make a better case for them, but I would leave them off. Or I should put it in the corner like I did before. I should probably just leave it off here. And speaking of, leave these off here. All right. speaking engagements, personal networking, business that they used before, personal mission as a healer. That's interesting. I guess that's kind of related to networking. Word of mouth, networking, word of mouth, personal connections, and basically personal connections. Yeah, networking, personal connections. Hmm. Yeah. So, they want to collaborate with other nonprofits. They want help, administrators, organizers, stuff like that. Administrative team. Yeah. I feel like this is kind of related to this one. Resource fair. Hmm. Yeah, so this is more so related to like the frustrations one or something like that. I would probably leave this off as well. Why is it doing that? A random line here. Local businesses. Okay, and I will leave this one off. Like, that's not how they find or connect with any businesses. She was just saying, they were just saying that again, they're in a very small company, so everybody just picks like they just write down like some nonprofits that they want to support, and the uh the boss, just looks at the list and be like, I pick this one. That's not really how they connect. This is raffles. Yeah, I guess so. Employees. Yeah, so this is employee rating. I will leave that. I will connect that with this one. So careers and employees. This is more of a frustration, I think, than about how they connect. So these are frustrations, but I will leave these on because this is saying that they will like to connect by like kind of a unsolicited ads type of thing, like things are coming to them. This is related to um like raffles or even the one down here. Was it this one? Personal networking, cold calling, or something like that. But I'll just put it there for now. And finally, last one. So yeah, it's just Pride Parade, and that's like one of the biggest events there. So I think that's an understandable thing there that they connect by going to the Pride Parade, like the big festivals, the big things that's going on there, and Dark Shop. But yeah, there we go. So that was cool. Hope you learned something again. And so after this, gonna go back and put names on those groups and uh, put more data points on there and see where we go from there. So thanks again. See ya. Bye bye.